their character. Who are they going to make the new adult version of T'Challa? Are they going to recast somebody? I want them to do with Black Panther after Black Panther 3 and we see this new version show up during Avengers Secret Wars. Most of the time I see people asking questions about Black Panther and Storm getting together, like now they actually have a chance that they can do that if they're introducing a new adult version of T'Challa at some point. But a little while ago, all that concept art leaked for Avengers Secret Wars, and amongst it was an adult version of T'Challa that we'd never seen before inside the MCU. So a lot of people assume that meant that Marvel plans to introduce him during Avengers Secret Wars, and then he'll go on to Black Panther 3, and he'll just be the new version of Black Panther in the MCU permanently after that. There are a lot of people that thought that he looked a lot like Damson Idris, and then recently during an interview for the F1 movie that he's in right now, kind of confirms that he is talking to Avengers Secret Wars. They bring back more multiverse characters, they introduce more really big twists, just because some of the narrative opportunities, he will be the new Black Panther eventually taking the mantle from Shuri once he is of age. So it's sort of Marvel having its cake and eating it too. Like, they didn't want to straight up recast Chadwick Boseman's version of Black Panther because they felt like he was so iconic. But it really does seem like Marvel has been missing, it really needs a traditional version of T'Challa Black Panther for a lot of the core stories from the comics that it wants to do, and that's why they're going to age this young version of the character up. Everybody let me know in the comments what you think about Damson Idris being the new version of that Black Panther. It's still going to be a long ways before Avengers Secret Wars actually hits screens, so it is possible that they could find somebody else if they want, but it just sounds like Damson Idris is definitely at the top of their list right now. Most of what we know about Black Panther bringing Daredevil and Kingpin back, and within that, like a couple minutes into his conversation was like, oh, and by the way, we're also going to be doing Spider-Man 4, Daredevil's probably going to be in that movie too. Like, wait a minute, we have so many more questions now. The producer who quit Marvel is Nate Moore. He's been like Kevin Feige's second in command for a long time, like one of the most powerful producers at Marvel since back in Marvel Phase 1. He didn't really become a huge person inside the Marvel eco-structure till like Marvel Phase 2 though, on the Captain America movies. But one of the upcoming movies that Nate Moore was attached to was the Iron Man Armor Wars movie, so it sounds like some of his future projects at Marvel did get canceled just because so many movies and TV shows got suddenly canceled when Marvel pulled way back to do more quality control. And typically when a producer this big, earning this much money, doing this well at a big studio, like a lot of that plot now, because it's been a canceled movie, they've also incorporated into the brand new Vision TV series that we'll see episodes for in 2026. They literally just announced that James Spader is coming back as Ultron during that. Nate Moore isn't listed on the Black Panther TV series Eyes of Wakanda, but that's not really critical to the plot of Black Panther 3. I'll talk about that TV series later in this video because we'll get episodes for that during 2025 next year. The bigger news behind the scenes, and I think this gets back to everybody wanting them to recast Black Panther with like a new version of T'Challa, is that because Kevin Feige and Marvel are letting Ryan Coogler take as much time as he wants to actually write Black Panther 3, now it's not going to come out till after Secret Wars. So I would say earliest we see that movie is going to be in 2027. Remember, Secret Wars is supposed to come out in May 2027, so like any of the dates later in the year right after that. Meaning that would be released in sort of like the reboot era of the MCU because they're using Secret Wars to do like a soft reboot, recast actors that they want to, change backstories, so that just everything exists on the same Earth in the same universe and it all makes sense going forward. You don't need like 10 different universes to explain where all these different characters come from. So there are a couple of things that Marvel can do now with the plot of Black Panther 3 that they couldn't do before when they were originally going to release Black Panther 3 before Secret Wars. They can either age up the young T'Challa Jr. and make him the new Black Panther by the end of Black Panther 3 and then going into Black Panther 4, just because they will make a billion Black Panther movies till the heat death of the universe. Or they can just use this as an opportunity to recast T'Challa because we're probably going to see a multiverse version of T'Challa Black Panther in Secret Wars. Like somebody like Killmonger will come from another universe and he'll be Black Panther from that universe. Either way, just expect to see multiverse Black Panthers in the next couple years with the next couple Avengers movies. But I do think that Marvel has wanted to do more of the traditional big Black Panther stories from the comics and make them more comic book accurate. It's just that the past couple of years, they've had a big problem doing that with Chadwick Boseman passing away and then them having to pivot to Shuri Black Panther. So I think likely Shuri will be the main Black Panther at the beginning of Black Panther 3. Then by the end of that movie, she will have given up the mantle. And it'll either be a recast version of T'Challa that shows up, or it'll be the younger T'Challa Jr. who they've aged up to the point where he can actually take the mantle. This was the big arc that Ryan Coogler said that he wanted to tell with the Black Panther stories that they'll likely incorporate to Black Panther 3. The thing about that story is that he doesn't need to make T'Challa Jr. the new Black Panther yet in order to tell that, but it makes more sense if he is the new Black Panther, so we'll see how that all plays out. And at least the way things are shaping up, post-Secret Wars, they're focusing less on multiverse aspects. I think Black Panther 3 is also meant to be more of an Earth-based MCU movie with not a lot of multiverse elements, more like Captain America Brave New World is more of an Earth-based movie, as opposed to something like Deadpool and Wolverine, which is like full-on multiverse. Generally, I think they're taking that Deadpool joke to heart, where like people are slowly getting tired of the multiverse story of it all, and want to just get back to more core MCU stories. Which is also why I don't think that Denzel Washington's villain will be a multiverse villain. He'll be somebody from the MCU who they just haven't done yet from the comics, or a spin on a comic book villain that they just changed for the course of the movie. So for everybody that wants to see Black Panther, for instance, get together with Storm inside the MCU in live action, they can actually do that in Black Panther 3, now that after that we'll be doing a whole bunch of X-Men stuff. But that would be like a Black Panther 4 kind of twist. When it comes to that Black Panther TV series, that's mostly meant to be an animated series about the Hatut Zaraze going around the world to try and protect vibranium from different villains across different eras. So the opportunity there is that we see different versions of Black Panther across ancient history. We're also supposed to see an ancient version of Iron Fist, but I'll do more videos about that when we actually get more details. Ryan Coogler is also executive producer on the Ironheart's teaser, and click here for all my other Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.